playoff game. Bears lead it 7-3 on the strength of a 64-yard touchdown. Tomczak to McKinnon. Luis Zendejas just authored a field goal of 42 yards at 7-3 Chicago. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw here at Soldier Field. And Zendejas will kick it off. Sanders and Gentry, the 2 deep men for the Bears. Gentry at the 3. And not much on the return. He doesn't make the 15-yard line. That's an 11-yard return. Bears have had problems on first down thus far. Philadelphia 6.8 yards on first down plays, and Chicago a flat 0.
Tomczak wants to get his running game going. The thing that the Bears feel like they have to do is run the ball and run it well, and they have not been able to do anything on first down, and that would lead up to passing. If you can't run on first down, come out with play action and throw the football. 2
new running backs in for the Bears. Brad Muster, the rookie from Stanford, and Thomas Sanders. The Bears have had 2 passes dropped, and Tomczak hands it off on the draw. This is Sanders out of Texas A&M. He's out to the 20, or rather the 19-yard line. Mike Tomczak, of course, played poorly in the last regular season game, that Monday nighter, and there was some speculation that Mike Ditka might go to McMahon, who is healthy, can play today, but Ditka's stuck with Tomczak. He played very well in the second half, and there was no question about who would get the start in this ball game.
Well, that said a lot to Tomczak, and in talking to him, he knows that his performance today sends a strong signal to these Bears, to the coaches, to the players, that if he can take them all the way, this is his team.
Thomas Sanders again, and not much of a gain. Reggie White in a scuffle with, I believe, is that Thornton? Reggie White, of course, a licensed minister. They call him the Minister of Defense. They expect him to be a little more passive.
Well, the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth, and evidently that's what Reggie White was going to do. White coming to the outside. Nice little cut there by Boso, number 86, backup tight end, and that's what got White. He didn't like the foot coming up, and he felt like that Bozo was trying to trip him, so he applied 295 pounds of preaching on him.
3rd and 4. And start the clock now. Jim McMahon told us yesterday, I've got to play in this game. I just hope it's not too late before they put me in.
He realizes that if this young quarterback Tomczak plays well, that McMahon might be out here. There are trade rumors around Chicago.
46 defense for the Eagles. Reggie White over Jay Hilgenberg now. And here comes White. Tomczak sees him, gets rid of it. McKinnon, first down. Oh, dandy play in front of Andre Waters. And Tomczak had Reggie White making a bull rush at him.
One of the things that Hilgenberg was worried about, he felt like that White would come rushing, bull rushing straight away to his snap hand side, his left side. Now White goes to his right side, swims over and takes the left arm burn like a swim technique and goes right by him.
That's going to be a fascinating battle today because Hilgenberg is very confident of his ability to handle Reggie White. He said, I made this ball club as a free agent, practicing against this 46 defense, and I worked every day in practice against Dan Hampton. First down and 10. It's Hilgenberg and White, Pro Bowlers. Tomczak left side, bobbled, dropped. James Thornton, the tight end, and Todd Bell is defending.
Yeah, Todd Bell, 52. Now, he'll play the weak side linebacker, the right linebacker for the Eagles, but he's a strong safety. And in the scheme of things, he plays the linebacker position like a strong safety. And if you see the Bears put a tight end over on his side, he will widen out, drop off just like a safety and take him man for man. One of the things the Bears want to do, Vern, is throw to their backs and tight ends on the outside linebackers of the Eagles. They don't think they cover that well.
Second down and 10, 7-3. Chicago leads it. Tomczak to Sanders. Goes left and cuts it up for about a 3-yard gain near the 36. Mike Reichenbach, number 55, makes the tackle, the one-time free agent out of East Stroudsburg State. Jim McMahon, of course, started the first 9 games this year before he was hurt in the New England game, and has not played since. He was activated for the Monday night game. They do have strength at this position. Tomczak 4-1. McMahon is a starter 7-2. But they've scored more under Tomczak during his 5 starts.
Well, and if you think like Ditka, he's got to look at that 29 points a game and say, hey, well, 29 is a lot better than 19, and that's got to be my man.
3rd and 7. Stunts. Tomczak with time. McKinnon wide open. Bobbled, caught, first down, Bears at the 42. He victimized the rookie Izell Jenkins, and that's a gain of 22. And Reggie White sands helmet.
Well, this is the thing that the Philadelphia Eagles are not that good at. There's a little move inside, then outside by McKinnon, and automatically, right off the line of scrimmage, Jenkins is trailing McKinnon. He's wide open.
Remember that old stat? Here's Reggie White losing his helmet. Keith Van Horn. Reggie with a little more preaching. 1st and 10 from the 41. Into the flat, Sanders. Roy Young knocks him out of bounds.
Good quarterbacking. That is excellent quarterbacking. Tomczak drops back, Vern looks downfield. The linebackers drop deep. He throws it to the swing man.
One of the things that Mike told us yesterday, it's no fun being a backup to Jim McMahon in Chicago. And Mike Tomczak sought psychiatric help last summer to help him in his dealings with his coach, Mike Ditka. But he and McMahon have remained friends throughout all this.
Well, they've got a good relationship. It's just that he has had problems with Ditka.
2nd down and 2. White again lines up over Jay Hilgenberg. And an audible by Mike Tomczak. Brad Buster. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Terry, just to wrap up that point about Mike Tomczak and his seeking of help, I think that's a good idea.
I think it's an excellent idea because he has gotten his confidence back, and a lot of people wonder why he went to a psychiatrist to help him. But let me give you an example. I went to a guy that had me hypnotized. In 1972, I had lost all of my confidence. I had problems with my head coach, too, and the fans, being a young kid out of a small school. And so I went, and Lou Rickey out of New Orleans, every morning before the game, would hypnotize me and give me 3 words. And he'd say, relax, confidence, and concentrate. And when he would wake me up, anytime I felt I was slipping in those areas, I could repeat that word, and immediately I had relax, confidence, concentrate.
3rd and 2. Tomczak behind Ron Morris. No flags. It'll be 4th down.
Fans are wanting a penalty on William Frizzell, 33. Young goes to the outside, Morris inside. Now he's wide open, and the pass is coming, and there's the hands that are placed on Morris. And as insignificant as the contact was, they should have thrown a penalty. That is pass interference.
Butler comes on to try the field goal. Interesting stat on Kevin Butler. He kicks much better on the road. He is 68% at Soldier Field, 82% on the road, and this is a 51-yarder that will not get there. .136 to go, 7-3. Buddy Ryan's team gets the ball back after the missed field goal. Eagles, of course, got into the championship, the divisional playoff, by winning the championship in the last week. Let's take a look back at their season. They started out losing 3 of their first 4 games. They were 1-3 at the start. After week 10, they defeated the Rams, and these guys will tell you this was the turnaround game, 30-24, and they've been on a tear ever since then. They swept the season series against the Giants. They won 6 of their last 7 ball games. Needed a little help on the final weekend, but they got it. Here's the reverse to Chris Carter. He can, no, it's a fake reverse. And Byers fooled me. Good ball handling.
Well, Byers didn't really fool the Bears. That's the same gadget play. That's a fake reverse keep by Byers that he used against the Phoenix Cardinals to go 52 yards far. And the Bears saw that on the tape, said, okay, there's a little, yeah, I see the play action. I'm going to come out and I'm going to hold you up. And good job by the Bears.
There a chance they could be using that to set something up later?
Well, every gadget run has a gadget pass off of it.
Second down, Cunningham. Nice pass to Byers. Jim Morrissey defending, and that's a first down, Philadelphia.
Vern, anytime a linebacker has his back to the quarterback, even though he has tight coverage on the receiver, he has no idea where the football is, and that time Cunningham just simply threw it over his right ear, and Byers made the catch.
Gain of 13, first down, Eagles. They trail 7-3. We are in the final minute of quarter number 1. Cunningham now 4 of 9 for 64 yards, but he has been held in the pocket thus far. First and 10.
Duerson's playing with Cunningham's mind, faking blitz, forcing Cunningham to audible.
No blitz. Cunningham deep. Good coverage. Incomplete. Quick and Mike Richardson.
This is an audible by Cunningham to go deep to Quick, who has man-to-man coverage by 27, Mike Richardson. Ball's led a little bit to the inside, but what a fine job by Quick to get up and prevent the interception. Notice the position that Richardson had inside on Quick. Ball a little underthrown, goes up, plays the ball, and knocks it away.
That brings up a second down and 10. Quick just back, of course, after those 8 weeks on injured reserve with a broken leg. Split backs behind Randall Cunningham. Blitz coming. Cunningham reads it. Byers, the hot receiver. And a huge gain as Byers chugs to the 24. What a nice read by Randall Cunningham, a gain of 24.
A very dangerous play, but a very successful play. No one is blocking for Cunningham. They go up to take on the blockers and then turn the blitzes loose, and it's up to Cunningham to be responsible for everyone and get the ball off by himself. Byers blocks a guy, turns him loose, and then goes out for the pass.
Walter Abercrombie now comes into the lineup for the Philadelphia Eagles. They will not get another playoff before the quarter ends. It's been a good one at Soldier Field in Chicago. We've finished one. It's 7-3. A quick recap. Chicago scored first, a 64-yard toss. Tomczak to McKinnon. Luis Zendejas missed a 43-yarder, but he came back on the last Eagle possession to author a 42-yarder as Mike Ditka looks on. Byers back in the backfield. First and 10, Philadelphia. With time, Cunningham on a rope inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Keith Jackson. And we watch him in isolation.
Jackson over Rivera. 59's got Jackson. Notice the move outside. The one lateral step by Jackson is to find out what the people over him are going to do. If they don't put their hands on him, he goes back inside and turns around and hooks. If they put their hands on him, he'll take a lateral step, swing over, and come inside.
Look at the year he's had after he left Oklahoma. 81 catches in 16 games. In 48 games with the Sooners, he caught a total of 62. Mike Quick back in the lineup. First and 10, Eagles. Cunningham in the grasp, and oh boy, the Bear fans love it, but they're groaning in Philadelphia right now, particularly given the talents of Randall Cunningham to run.
This is a shame because this young man is Houdini on wheels. Watch him when he gets his hands. Now Smith has his hands on him, and now is he in the grasp? I don't think so. You know, I hate that call because this guy is an athlete. He's not a quarterback. He's an athlete, a guy that has the ability to run, a guy that has the ability to break tackles. And when he breaks these tackles, he makes things happen. But notice, is he down? Is he in the grasp? Boy, I don't think so. I
Jim
disagree.
Tunney made the call, and the key words are grasp and control. And I don't think there's much doubt he didn't have both. Here's the blitz. Cunningham, flag is down. Byers with the catch for the 15. But this one could be wiped out. Ron Rivera makes the tackle. Holding, Eagles. This is an Eagle offense, which in 1986, the offensive line of Philadelphia gave up 106 sacks. They've reduced it now. This year it was 57.
Holding 50. Still second down.
That's Dave Remington, the center. Take a look at it.
Remington, a guy that was released by the Bengals, failed his physical there. Hampton takes the swim technique and goes around, and a nice job by Remington of grabbing on and hanging on to Hampton's leg. And as a quarterback, I'll say, fine, hey, you saved my life. I don't mind the holding. I'll make up for it right now.
Now it's second down and 30. Handoff, Tony. Mike Singletary led the way. The defensive player of the year.
Singletary 50, looking inside, said the most important thing this week, I have to have perfect technique. I have to have perfect reads. I have to be in the perfect position to play the perfect game. He wants to have that kind of game today against Buddy Ryan, his buddy.
When these two teams played here in 1986, after the game was over, Singletary waited outside the locker room so he could hug Buddy Ryan. Third and 32. No blitz, stunts. Cunningham deep. Caught at the 4, and that'll be close for the first down. Ron Johnson with the catch.
Cunningham's pass was complete.
And they'll bring the chain out.
Well, it starts with time. One thing that happens is that Cunningham looks to his right, has the time, sets up, and now throws a deep pass. And anytime a quarterback throws deep 20-yard ends, he has to have time. Boy, that's an excellent throw. Bestie Jackson, 24. He had Ron Johnson just blanketed, but a perfectly thrown ball.
Fourth and that much.
Go for it. You got to go for it. This is the playoffs. There's no tomorrow. If you don't gamble, gamble. Do everything that would blow the computers apart.
Buddy Ryan will. He'll pass on the field goal. Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator.
Sprint out. Motion, get outside. Look at Plum. He's wanting him to get off the field. He's going to cost us a timeout.
Fourth and a foot. How about quarterback rollout? Nope, quarterback sneak. And that's close.
I think he got it, Vern.
Dante Jones, number 53, jammed him up. And now the spot.
Cunningham bounced off to the outside, to the right side, and I believe he was able to pick up the first down. That play went against the computer. The computer says that in that situation, option pass by Cunningham sprinting out, so quarterback sneak. Whoa. Now that's close. If you can't call it, then it's a first down. You can see what Tunney's doing. He's putting his hand down between the yardstick and the tip of the football, and he has clearance for his hand. Therefore, he's ruling bare ball. I know what the argument is. Is it to the point of the chain, or is it to the pole of the pole that's holding the chain? That's what the Eagles are arguing.
Watch the effort of the rookie out of Oklahoma, Dante Jones, number 53.
53, Jones off the ball inside, sees Cunningham spinning out, gets in to make the stop and push him back and prevent the Eagles from the first down.
Chicago holds. First half, Tomczak thus far 108 yards. McKinnon has caught 3, including a 64-yard touchdown. The Eagles have had 2 touchdowns called back on penalties, both by Anthony Toney. And moments ago, on 4th and a foot, Randall Cunningham went right. Dante Jones came left. And it was a whisker by which the Bears took over. 46 defense now. Reggie White over Hilgenberg. Tomczak hands it off up the middle. Matsui, and not much. Jerome Brown was there to make the tackle. Take a look at how close that first down measurement was.
Right, and the argument was the Eagles claimed that the ball touched the end of the chain. Notice the little double ring, but the pole, see, they're trying to say, well, it's not the pole, it's the ring, but it is. It's all the way, full length to the pole, and therefore they miss a first down by what looks or appears to be about 1/2 inch.
Second down and 10. 7-3, Chicago leads. But 64 of their 119 yards came on one play. Hot receiver. Cap Bozo. Fumble. Recovered by the Eagles. No, a scramble for it now. And did Philadelphia get it? Yes. Wes Hopkins. And that is the second Chicago turnover of the first half.
The blitz from the outside and a blitz control route. Bozo, number 86. Notice 52, Todd Bell coming to the outside. Seth Joyner, 59. Both linebackers blitzing. Bozo reads it, picks up the pass, and now Andre Waters, 20, comes over and knocks the ball loose. And then the free safety comes over and makes the recovery.
Pass interception recovered by Joyner. Wes Hopkins with a fumble recovery. Mike Ditka said the only way we can lose is by turnovers. First down at the 15. 7-3, Bears. Toss right, Toney to the 11-yard line.
Anthony Toney.
Sean Smith, number 97. The Eagles, of course, well documented the worst pass defense in the league, but that's overcome because they've done such a good job, Terry, in turnovers.
Well, you can notice they're second in the NFL with a +20 in the turnover ratio. So even though they give up a lot of yardage, they come up with 32 interceptions, and the +20 gives them the ball back a lot.
Bears have turned it over twice today. The Eagles have gone 4 games in which they did not have any turnovers at all. Audible, Cunningham. Pulls up, caught and dropped. Nice job of containment by Rivera, who makes the tackle, number 59. And that will bring up third down.
The Eagles that time sent 2 receivers out in pass routes. The tight end hooked over the middle, and Cunningham, when he scrambled, there was no one that could come back to him to help him. You look at Kavanaugh sending in the plays. No one could help him. Both receivers were double teamed. Thus, Cunningham outside, he had nothing to do but either throw it or run it.
Third and 8. 7-3 Chicago lead. That's Jackson in motion. 4-man rush by the Bears. Into the end zone. Caught. No! Dropped. And the rookie was all by himself.
Perfectly thrown ball by Cunningham. Mike Singletary, 50, will come out and take on the tight end Jackson. But then he sees Cunningham hesitate. He freezes, allowing Jackson in behind Cunningham. And then Jackson, believe it or not, drops a perfectly thrown pass that should have been a touchdown.
Ted Plum giving his first-year player out of Oklahoma a word of consolation. Zendejas from 29 yards away out of John Tomczak's hold. And the Eagles have cut the lead to 1. But they blow a marvelous opportunity to go on top. He said his favorite composer is Bach because he composed solos for cello players. And the other composers just kind of ignored them. I'm sure he would play a sad song right now. Sanders, head of the open field and dropped at the 22-yard line. Well, the Eagles have not wanted for opportunities. There's a flag down. Scott Curtis with the tackle. They've also not wanted for penalties. Jim McMahon, a little worried about his future in Chicago right now. Said, I hope I get to play. I hope it's not too late.
Inside on the kicking team. Repeat the kick, 5-yard penalty.
And Jim's 29 years old, and I think a lot of what's going on right now is a little bit of a concern about his future. A little fear maybe that if the Bears don't want him, he would be hard to trade because he's had so many injuries. And that is something that Mike Dick brought up. And one of the reasons for starting Tomczak, one of the reasons for drafting Harbaugh was that they could not rely on Jim McMahon being there, and they could not count on him for a full season. And so now the young Tomczak, he has the job. And Jim, quite honestly, is concerned that he may be out of here. And Vern, he told us, I don't want to leave Chicago. I don't want to leave the Bears. This is my home. I just built a brand new 10,000 square foot mansion or whatever that thing costs.
Matter of fact, he said if it comes to trade talks, he might think about retiring and not leaving Chicago. But he also said in the next sentence, if it does come to a trade, I will demand an okay of that trade.
And I also have 1 year on my before my contract is up, and I'll go in and I'll force them to sign me to the contract here before the trade can be made. So some concerns about Jim McMahon while he's rooting for his team. I'm sure he would like to have an opportunity to play. A guy like him that is known for big games would certainly like to be in this one.
From the 30, short kick taken at the 35. Glenn Kozlowski. That's a 23-yard return by Kozlowski.
It's one of the reasons you put receivers up like this, and this is a short up, is they have good hands. Kozlowski also an excellent blocker, another reason, but now you're seeing something that he does very well, a little nifty bit of running. What do you go there, about 55 yards for 4 yards gain?
About 55 for 23. There's Kozlowski out of Brigham Young University. First down at the 44-yard line. Reggie White again over Jay Hilgenberg. Hilgenberg wins that battle, and the pass is complete at the 32. Caught by Wendell Davis, the rookie out of LSU. I just kept my eye on Hilgenberg and White that time, and Hilgenberg planted him, put him on his back.
That's a key matchup today, and Hilgenberg told us that one of the things I have to do is I have to get my hands on White immediately. I cannot allow him to get his hands on me. I get my hands on him, I think I can handle him man for man. If we have to take 2 blockers and block him, he says we're in a lot of trouble.
This time Reggie White is up against Van Horn as the Eagles have their regular defensive deployment in. Boso in motion. Cross left. Neal Anderson. Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Todd Bell, who is as emotional about this ball game as I think any player on the field. Those of you who were with us during the NFL today saw him taunt the Bear bench when he came on.
Todd Bell said, I saw this game. I saw this game in my dreams. We're destined to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm destined to play well today. And he dreams of nothing more would thrill him. I think even a Super Bowl wouldn't excite him as much as beating the Chicago Bears today. He feels like, well, quite honestly, he got the shaft when they got rid of him here.
Second down at 9. Draw play. To the 31, it'll be third down. Brad Muster, number 25, number 1 draft choice out of Stanford. He was expected to replace Matt Suhey before the season began, and Suhey, the old warhorse, has hung on to his starting position, but Ditka said Muster has started to play well later in the season.
Yeah, one of the things that this young man brings is that if he's in the backfield, he is also an excellent pass receiver.
Remember what he told us in Sweden last summer?
No.
That he wears a T-shirt under his uniform with the picture of the wrestler Ric Flair on it.
Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good memory there, old buddy.
I know all those wrestlers. Tomczak back. Right side. First down, Ron Morris. Neal, Young, and Terry Hogue make the stop. It's a gain of 30.
A gain of 30 yards on a simple pass route. Morris runs down 10 yards, Vernon just turns around. It's called the old button hook or the hook to the right of your screen. Good job. Tomczak picks him up, throws the ball. Look, no one's out there defending. Everyone is gone. Jenkins misses the tackle, and a good bit of running that time by Morris to take it down to the 4-yard line.
Ron Morris out of SMU, 6'1", 195. First and goal. 7-6, Bears lead. 6:27 to go, first half. Timeout, Chicago. Only touchdown in the game. McKinnon, 64-yard catch, but the Bears threatened.
But they have thrown the ball extremely well, and that does not surprise me, Vern, because this is the worst pass defense in the National Football League. So would they run the football here? Maybe on first down, but I would like to see play action, a little crossing route. Should be wide open for a touchdown.
Split backs behind Mike Tomczak. It's Boso, the tight end. They'll run it on first down. Anderson, touchdown. Oh, huge hole.
Coming right at you. Reichenbach 55 plays over, reads the guard pulls to the left. Bortstead he follows him, opens up a big lane inside. That time Anderson cut back in for the touchdown.
Butler for the extra point. Only 12 yards on the ground until this run, and Mike Ditka most appreciative of the effort of a hobbled Neal Anderson, who scores from 4 and increases the lead to 8.
Arkansas.
Neal Anderson had 12 rushing touchdowns in the regular season. He adds another one, much to the pleasure of Mike Ditka. A 44-yard drive in 5 plays, all set up by Kozlowski's kickoff return and a 30-yard catch by Ron Morris. And the Bears now lead at 14-6 as Butler kicks it off. Isaiah Jenkins at the 7. Rookie from North Carolina State, all the way out to the 32-yard line. Good ball game so far. 14-6 the score, and coming up next, CBS Sports, it's college basketball action as Kentucky travels down the road to battle Louisville in a matchup of traditional state powerhouses. That's all next, right here on CBS Sports. Billy Packer and Tim Brandt are standing by to watch Denny Crum's team take on the beleaguered Eddie Sutton Ball Club. First and 10, Eagles. They trail by 8.
Big series of downs here. The Eagles need to drive this football down and get a score. Primarily, I know they would want a touchdown, but for their confidence, they need to score on this drive.
Cunningham, Myers. Oh, was that on a line? Dewerson and Singletary and Richardson with a tackle. A gain of 15.
When you take a back like Byers and get him out of the backfield and put him on the flank, which is what he's doing, notice the lack of respect that Richardson gives him. He says, oh, I'll lay off of you to the outside, and Byers goes down and comes to the inside. Smart route running by Byers.
Gain of 15, first down, 10, Philadelphia. 14-6, Chicago. That's Quick in motion. Blitz coming. Cunningham reads it, goes to Quick. And Quick is out of bounds with another Eagle first down at the 41. Tackle this time made by Morrissey and Vesty Jackson.
Ted Plum told us that one of the things that they had to do with their offense and with Quick was to put him in motion, but not set the motion after he got out. We wanted our men moving at the snap of the football because we believe that that creates a lot of indecision in the secondary of the Bears. So we don't want to just motion and stop. We want to motion and snap the ball while our guys are moving.
From the 42, Cunningham looks over the Bear defense. 5:23 to go, first half. Draw play, Tony. Dan Hampton, number 99, up on top to make the stop.
Now, see, I believe draws will work well against the Vikings, but I don't think they'll work well against the Bears. The Vikings are taught to come off the ball and always play pass. The Bears don't do that. Hampton that time came off, engaged with his man, and then peeked into the backfield to find out where the ball carrier was. It's very hard to run draws on a defensive line that does not rush the passer.
You've been watching Dan Hampton. Has he been hobbled by the injury much?
Not a bit. Matter of fact, he and Michael both look very well.
Saw the total yardage for both teams. 1 yard separates them. Second down. Cunningham. Dropped. That's the 3rd sack today. And that's 60 for the year. And let's watch Dan Hampton work.
Watch it once again. 99 Hampton, no stunts. McMichael 76, no stunts. But notice they stay in their lanes. They don't get out of the lanes. And now Hampton beats Remington, gets back to the inside. They want to stay in their lanes when they rush Cunningham because they want to force him to run up the middle. If he runs up the middle, he will not throw the football. He will run with it.
3rd and 10. No blitz, stunts. Cunningham, deep, incomplete. Off the hands of Quick. As Vesty Jackson was defending and the Bear crowd roared. John Tomczak on the punt. He can throw it and run it as well. McKinnon is back. Tomczak leads the league in punts down inside the 20, and this will be his 29th this year. Well, we've got the Bears and the Eagles today, and out on the coast, they're getting ready tomorrow for another NFC divisional game. The Vikings and the 49ers in a rematch of their game a year ago. And John Madden was indicating yesterday that things are a little tense around 49er camp. That ought to be a dandy because the Vikings knocked them out of the playoffs a year ago.
And the Vikings, they feel like they're the team that's going to the Super Bowl, and they're going to have to beat the 49ers at home, and they have their number. They play well out there, and that Wilson guy, quarterback for the Vikings, is playing well. Montana ought to be a whale of a game.
We'll have a report from Pat Summerall and John Madden at halftime. We're 3:52 away from that. And now from the 7, Tomczak on 1st and 10 hands it off. Thomas Sanders surges left. He's got some room. And a foot race with Roynell Young and Andre Waters. That's a 59-yard gain.
Left guard 62, Mark Bortz is leading the way. A handoff deep to Sanders, and there's the block on Todd Bell by Bortz. Knocks Bell outside, and then the cutback running by Sanders, and now the foot race.
Good block by McKinnon. And then Roynell Young caught up with him. Eric Allen also in the chase, but a 59-yard gain by some 39 yards, his longest of the year, and the Bears have called timeout.
Eagles have gone conservative, which is very normal, Vern, and one of the reasons that run was successful is that the Eagles did not send anyone. No linebacker splits, no safety blitzes. They played a normal little safe front and then dropped everyone out in zone coverage and got Bortz out wide. He makes a little block, and then Sanders has no one there, and he goes down the sideline.
That extraordinary. Prior to that play, the Bears, known for their ground game, had 15 yards rushing, and they pick up 59 on the Sanders scamper.
Yeah, and when you talk to them all week long, they've told us we have got to run the football. We have got to run the football, and we kept saying, but fellas, wait a minute. These guys are the worst in the league against the pass. You can't tell me you're going to run this football and you should be throwing it. No, 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 we're going to run it. Today, they've thrown the ball well. They finally got a big run.
And by throwing it, they get the big run. 74 yards on the ground now, but 59 on that last tote. Philadelphia has been held to only 16. 3:40 to go first half. It's 14-6 Chicago. Got Boso in motion. Play fake by Tomczak. Deep left side and great coverage as Boso, I guess, was the intended receiver.
Well, Tomczak made his mind up to go to his tight end, but it's okay to make your mind up, but if he's covered, then unmake your mind up and go somewhere else. He had other receivers crossing that time, and he could have turned around and thrown the ball. Matsui, for instance, was wide open on the 20 with no one around him, but Tomczak is young. He wants to stay within himself. He told us, I don't want to get carried away. I want to stay within the framework of the offense. But that doesn't mean that you stare down your receivers, make your mind up. If they're covered, go somewhere else.
2nd and 10, 3:34 to go, first half. 14-6 Chicago. White over Hilgenberg again. Play fake again. And they find McKinnon for a gain of about 8 inside the 30 near the 28, and Mike Reichenbach is there with the tackle.
You know what's so good about those pass routes is the little short hooks, Vernon, is that, number one, it doesn't take long to throw them, and Tomczak can drop back and turn around and throw a little 6-yard hook, and the defensive line, hey, they don't get any sacks, and you keep doing that, and finally, you know, they get frustrated.
How about the quarterbacks and how many times they get hit in a ball game? Well, thus far, Mike Tomczak has only been hit 8 times and has not been sacked. Cunningham has been hit 25 times and has been sacked 3 times. 3rd down and 3. 14-6 Bears. Anderson forced out of bounds by Todd Bell's fine play. Todd Bell again taunting Mike Ditka. Their relationship was rocky, to say the least. And we chatted with him last night. He said at the midpoint of the season, the team was 4-4, and they were playing the Rams, and Bell said he stood up at halftime of the Ram game. And he said, folks, I want to play the Chicago Bears in the playoffs. You've got to help me visualize this. They turned the game around. 46-yard effort for Butler now. Yes, barely.
But yes. And that's not the side, that's not the end of this field that Tomczak likes to kick from. He likes the other one much better. He says on this end, the wind is always in my face. But today, 4-mile-an-hour wind. Hey, there's no wind at all.
17-6 Bears now. And they've gotten there despite 2 turnovers. And the Eagles had 2 touchdowns called back on consecutive plays back in the first quarter, and Mike Tomczak gets on the phone.
When he took a starter, McMahon, even with he's healthy now, and said, you're not my man, I'm going with this kid.
Isaiah Jenkins. The tackle is made by Dante Jones for the Bears. 2-minute warning. Actually, 1:52.
Goes over the cold water and whatever, however that stuff is. Well,
you went to Louisiana Tech. I went to Texas Lutheran. You got to explain that to me.
You're right. I should have the answer then.
Cunningham, left side. Byers slides down with a catch.
This is where the Eagles are their best. This is where Cunningham is his best, because now they're threatened. Now they're challenged. Now they're behind. And this is when you bite these guys, they respond.
Looks like the Grey Cup in Canada all of a sudden. Cunningham deep for Jackson. He's open, caught in the fog to the 15, to the 5-yard line. 65 yards to the Pro Bowl starter at tight end. And Todd Crum saved the touchdown.
Jackson owed this to Cunningham. He has already dropped one touchdown pass. Once again, notice the ability of Cunningham out of the pocket. Singleton just stands in front of him. Jackson gets loose, gets behind. That time Richardson wide open.
That's the longest catch of the year for Keith Jackson. And it's 1st and goal from the 6. Timeout has been called by the Eagles as the fog rolls through Soldier Field.
Vern, one of the points to be made is when Cunningham came out that time and was threatening to run with the football, Singletary did not go at him to tackle him, nor did he go back. And that leads me to think that the Bears have assigned Singletary to spy on Cunningham. Everywhere he goes, Singletary will follow.
Our helicopter, which was giving you the aerial shots, was forced to land because of this fog. I do remember watching a Grey Cup game out of Canada back in the 60s where it was like this or worse throughout the entire game. But this adds a dimension to this ball game that's interesting.
Well, do they throw the football? The receivers might not be able to see it. And the success the Eagles had so far is in throwing the football.
Cunningham throws it. Incomplete. Mike Quick covered by Bestie Jackson. And I would think, Terry, just absolutely mandatory for the Eagles to come out of this with a touchdown and not a field goal.
Exactly. They need the touchdown, and once again, who has the edge here? There's Quick going to the outside. The ball is behind him, but he did not have a problem picking up the football. So I would say now Cunningham will throw again.
2nd down and goal from the 5. Lob caught. Out of bounds at the 1. Anthony Toney.
Now this is where Cunningham's dangerous to sprint out.
Penalty, Philadelphia.
Toney saying that someone pushed off to allow themselves to get free.
At least for the moment, it is impossible to see the scoreboard. Here's Toney.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 84 is 10 yards and still 2nd down.
That's Kenny Jackson, who came out of retirement late in the season. And that makes it 2nd and goal from the 15.
Kenny Jackson will come down on Richardson in the left corner. He will engage his left arm. Now where's the push? There's the push right there. The push behind, the push himself and get the separation from Richardson.
And as a result, Mike Ditka peers through the fog as the Eagles deploy 2nd and 15. Cunningham pumps, lobs it for Toney. Down at the 14. Maurice Douglas makes the tackle. Timeout, Philadelphia. "44 seconds remain in the first half. And it's beginning to get a little lighter. The Eagles have 1 timeout left. In the first quarter, back-to-back touchdowns wiped out by penalties. Here they had a 3rd and goal from the 1, but the Kenny Jackson pass interference call cost them 10. Mike Ditka prowls the sidelines. We're just 44 seconds away from halftime. And Brent Irvin Dick, along with Will McDonough, are here at Soldier Field. They'll be along with locker room reports 44 seconds from now.
We know this Eagle offense and Ted Plum, and one of the things that they like to do with their receivers in this position, Vern, is to take them down and to cross them, but to cross them very close to one another and automatically building in a pick. And whoever is picked is it, then the quarterback will throw the ball in that direction, that being Cunningham.
3rd and goal from the 13. It's getting much lighter. Blitz. Cunningham. Incomplete for Carter.
Looking at Crum right in his back. 44. Hampton around to the outside, and there's the gun by Cunningham. But boy, what excellent job that time by 27 Richardson as he was underneath the receiver Carter. No way that ball could have been completed.
From 30 yards out, John Tomczak will hold. Zendejas is 2 of 3. Sneaks it inside the right upright. And that narrows it to 17-9.
Well, 3 points are good, but Vern, I think you said it best. I believe the Eagles needed to score a touchdown, and once again, it's a classic case of penalties. Pushing off penalty, and then, of course, drop passes. Another 2 touchdown passes that were called back, so the Eagles have self-destructed. They've hurt their chances here in the first half by penalties.
Not an extraordinary number. They've only been penalized 4 times, but the 40 yards have wiped out 2 touchdowns and cost them a 3rd and goal at the 1.
Exactly, and it doesn't matter how many penalties. It's like anything else. It's quality penalties. They've been quality penalties, penalties that have cost them points.
Buddy Ryan prowling the sidelines. 32 seconds remaining in the first half. You ever played in anything like this?
I've never played in fog. I never have. And I've played in torrential downpours in Philadelphia. Matter of fact, the game was canceled. Well, the footballs are floating out the exit signs there. So, but I've never played in anything like this. I don't know if I would want to. You can't see. I mean, rain's one thing, snow's another. A little sleet, hey, that's fun. That's good stuff. But like this, no.
Well, this is unexpected. It rolled in from Lake Michigan just like that. Zendejas with 32 seconds left in the first half. That's our perspective right there. And somewhere down there is a ball carrier, Dennis Gentry. This is a spotter's nightmare, and Joe Cash and Nancy Lundquist are going nuts right now.
It's a quarterback's nightmare if he's behind and he's quarterbacking these Bears, because they have on dark jerseys and dark helmets, and you can't see anything. If they're running, all you're going to see is their white pants and the white jerseys of the Eagles.
Tomczak comes back after the 16-yard gain.
And you cannot throw the ball up in the air. You can't do the Hail Mary because no one can find it.
20 seconds to go. 17-9. Tomczak intercepted. Picked off by Todd Bell. And very little time remains. We can't tell you exactly yet, but how appropriate that Todd Bell makes the interception. And that is the 3rd Bear turnover of the first half.
You pick it up, Tomczak setting back deep. And that's just good read by Bell. Bell, like we said, is a converted strong safety now, playing weak side linebacker. He read Tomczak's eyes. His eyes brought him inside. Todd Bell followed him. The football was waiting on him.
Ball at the 42-yard line. Cunningham back. 17 seconds to go. Caught. Keith Jackson. They have 1 timeout left. Dave Duerson makes the tackle on the tight end. Eagles have used their final timeout. And we're now told that there are approximately 15 seconds remaining. It's impossible for us to see the clock, and no one on the field can see it either.
Oh, we can't even see the players. I mean, I see parts of lines, but I don't see anything down there. I don't see the players. I'm looking on my monitor to watch this game.
It's about the only way we can see it.
That says 9 seconds.
You sure?
I believe it. Well, doesn't it look like 9 seconds? There you go. Thank you.
9 seconds left.
Normally, you have an opportunity here, Vern, to throw the football into the end zone, but that's all. They've got, Cunningham has either got two choices: throw it into the end zone or work the sideline, because he has no timeouts remaining. Work the sideline automatically kills the clock, and I believe he needs to pick up at least 10 more yards or whatever. Looks like the ball's on the 23-yard line.
It'll be a 40-yard field goal right now.
Yeah, he's there. He's there right now.
So apparently one play, and they're at the 23. Intercepted. Mickey Pruitt with 2 seconds to go.
Todd Bell, 52, makes one for the Eagles. Mickey Pruitt, 52, makes one for the Bears.
That is his first interception of 1988.
Watch Cunningham's eyes. He looks down the field, then makes his mind up, turns and guns the football. But an excellent job by Pruitt. I was a poor decision that time. Looked to me that Cunningham was going to Carter, and Carter was well covered on the sideline.
2 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 17-9. And the reason we give you that perspective down low is it's the only perspective from which you can see what's happening. That's the end of the first half. In the fog with the score, Chicago 17, Philadelphia 9.
CBS